All right.
Yo,
What is going on?
happy New Year. It is a brand new year, 2025.
Yeah.
We have made it another year.
Crazy. It's crazy. Here we are. Yeah, it's been absolutely insane.
Insane.
Yeah. Just crazy that 2024 is over already. It just
over.
Blew by.
It's done.
Like, the whole entire year just blew by like
done.
Like nothing even happened. So
yeah.
Pretty crazy, but here we are. It is 2025, ready for a brand new year of wrestling, a brand new year of Opinion City.
Yes.
Got lots
another
of
year
things going on this year. It's gonna be a big year. We're super excited. But here we are. It is well, technically at this point, New Year's Eve has passed, and we are now into the beginnings of New Year's Day. But before we get into all of that goodness, we've got, and I know we've said this a lot in 2024, but here we're officially saying it for the first time in 2025. We've got three free and easy ways.
Baby.
To support the channel. Boom!
Hit that like button.
Just
tell us you enjoy what we're doing, man.
Just give us the thumbs up.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know that you enjoy what's going on here.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 2, hit that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button like you're getting smashed right now, probably. That's right. Just you hit that subscribe button so you never miss anything that we're doing. And finally, share us out.
Friends, coworkers, colleagues, staffers, holiday helpers.
Yes, people that are, that you just met at a New Year's Eve party.
Exactly.
Tell the person you kissed at midnight.
Yeah, right.
Let them know that that we know that that they know
that you like us.
You like
and
us.
You share us with everybody. You really know that we're out there.
Yes, you really like us. And if you want to even further support us in 2025, we have got the merch.
You gotta get
there.
The
you
merch.
Can see one of our favorite logos from 2024, our Opinion City Wild LLC Let Us In logo. But
that's right.
We have so much more. 2025.
So much merch.
We're gonna have some really cool designs coming out.
That's right.
We're super excited. So you can absolutely support us in that way. And of course, you can follow us at Opinion City Pod to see everything that we're doing. You can follow at the LVAC to see everything that they are doing as well, which brings us to today's episode.
Why we're here.
Yes, why we're here.
We just got off of a crazy episode, a crazy live show, Friday, the last LVAC show of the year, holiday hangout. Super excited. Such a fun show.
Yeah.
Every time I come down, I have to come down from work, so I pretty much missed the first match. So that's going to be all of King Ralph's. Pretty sure I missed all of the first match, and that's okay. It was.
Did you miss all of it?
I'm pretty sure I missed all of it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I missed all of it.
I mean, it was pretty close, but it was you kind of you kind of made it there. It wasn't like totally missed everything, but still not bad. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about
the
event itself. So first off, before we really get into that, just a huge year for the LVAC. Now let's think about what the LVAC has done this year.
They did a lot this year.
The LVAC did some collaborations.
Multiple.
They were a part of Big Dan Champion's 40th birthday bash.
That's right.
During WrestleMania week, they were a part of that with Sean Henderson Presents and Labor of Love. They brought the extremely violent match inside.
Oh my God! Yes.
Inside the brewery between Jimmy Lloyd and Ultramanus Black in the brewery outside to the ring, light tubes and doors and just
violence, violence.
But that was not the only thing they did. They partnered with Smash Master Wrestling for Let's Get Smashed in Bethlehem, where they they were supporting some good charity and whatnot. So outdoor event right down the street from their home of National Sokols.
They had their big grand opening in Bath.
They did indeed. Another outdoor show, another really interesting show. A fun show.
Very fun show.
Yeah, very fun show.
A very Nickelback heavy show.
Yes, very Nickelback heavy. But again, again, opening the new store in Bath during a whole street festival, and
literally right down the road. There's a street festival and everything right down the road. Crazy.
Again, partnering with Labor of Love for the Comrades for Vlad, a benefit for Vlad Radanoff.
Such an amazing show.
Great people getting together to help out a good friend, someone who we all know and love. So
yes, absolutely.
Just another
shout out to Vlad.
Yeah, just another great show. Now this year, returning to the Mahoning Drive-In after getting rained out last year, we had Real Rumble 5, which again, Real Rumble is always one of the highlights of the year. One of the coolest shows, as I've been told, a favorite of the staff at the Mahoning Drive-In.
Correct.
So again, another big show, and then of course the big show of the year. It's becoming tradition now, and it's like almost like their WrestleMania, but
pretty much.
Steel Stack SmackDown 3, emanating from Bethlehem at the Steel Stacks at the Arts Quest Cafe. Just again, another great show put on by the LVAC.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I've learned this year, every year, since we started this, is that LVAC puts on just amazing shows, top to bottom, every time. They always smash out of the park. And this year, Chris even told us this has been his busiest year with LVAC.
Yeah, and actually they were supposed to have another show this year at the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, because that went over very well last year, but things just did not work out. Scheduling did not work out, and they're hoping to return back there next year, I believe.
Yep.
But ending the year out as they always do.
Yes.
It is Holiday Hangout 24.
That's right.
Live from National Sokols in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania,
which is probably
Christmas City.
One of the coolest but smallest venues I've ever seen.
It's very much it's got a very reminiscent vibe of like what Beyond Wrestling does,
right?
Because everybody's standing, and it's just, and this year the building was packed more than I think I've ever seen it packed. Absolutely, just a capacity crowd. Talking to Chris, he told us that tickets sold out in 2 weeks. They went on sale Thanksgiving Day and sold out in 2 weeks. And I believe at time of the show there were only 8 walk-up tickets available. So it was crazy because they do hold some walk-up tickets, but this year,
they try, but this year it was crazy.
It was just madness, and people trying to get in, but you always got to buy your ticket early for the holiday hangouts. Well, yes, most LVAC shows you probably want to get your ticket early, but Holiday Hangout is one that is always a favorite of the LVAC fans, and so definitely got to get your ticket early for that. Just a really fun show, at a really fun building, as Sean mentioned. National Sokols has a vibe to it that is really different than pretty much anywhere else you go.
It's just you're so close to the action that it's very intimate. You're literally like, there's no guardrails, there's no rails, anything. It's just you're in on the action. Like
you're right on top of everything. The last Holiday Hangout show we were at Sokols was the infamous squirt incident where a can of squirt exploded, and you're just among the people. There's nowhere to go. Like
But this year we brought the squirt this year.
Yes, we brought the squirt.
We brought the
squirt this year. We indeed did. Definitely a highlight of the show. Shout out to our good friends over at Royalty Wrestling and the Wrestling Factory, Coach Oleg and Coach Danny, who we had a ringside view with of the show. We get to hang out with them a little bit.
They were
watch
a riot.
The show.
They were a riot.
Yeah, so definitely cool to see. Definitely the place to be in Bethlehem on December 27th.
That's right.
But just a great show. And in addition to the show itself, of course, as always at every single LVAC show, there was the vegan snack bar.
The vegan snack bar, of course.
Yes, the vegan snack bar. Circle Donuts was also there.
Oh my god, that was probably one of the best donuts I've ever had.
So my first vegan donut.
Same.
I gotta say it was really good. I had the chocolate orange mantis black.
Same.
Yeah, and it was really good. I was very surprised. So Circle Donuts, great. I did not have any of the other vegan food, but I saw plenty of people chowing down on
plenty of options.
And then of course on top of that, after the wrestling was over, two bands, Sun God and Heel, played after the show was over. So not just wrestling, not just food, but entertainment as well. Of course, Jack, the ring announcer, good friend of the show, was the MC in charge of everything.
Point as usual.
So it's incredible because you get, and I know we bring this up all the time, but you get these Chikara vibes, not just from the LVAC, but having Jack the ring announcer there, who at one time was known as Gavin Loudspeaker in the realm of Chikara, and just hearing him introduce the main event, it brought back so many memories.
And if you have not seen a Jack the Ring Announcer main event spiel, or if you've not been a part of one, you need to be a part of one. They bring you around the ring. You get to slap the ring with him, do the big drum roll. It's a whole bit.
Very interactive.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very interactive. It's a great time. If you have not seen it, it's amazing. The whole thing is just, again, it's all a part of the feel that the LVAC puts on.
Yep.
So to start off the show, we had a 6-person scramble.
Yes, we had.
Yes, go ahead.
Kurt Robinson, Andy Ripley, Brandon St. James, CPA, Deuce Ex Machina, and Irving West.
This was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Everybody. At
least the end I saw.
Everybody kind of getting themselves in the match. You had the Creeps doing their thing. If you've never seen a Creeps entrance either, they come out to Radiohead's Creep, which is one of my favorite songs.
Yes,
so I was
amazing.
Super psyched. Everybody kind of getting their stuff in this match.
And of course, CPA getting to do his multiple button rips, which I love so much.
So the first shirt that he ripped open, first one he ripped open to reveal the same exact shirt and tie.
Yep.
The first time he ripped it so fast and so hard, I got hit with a button.
Dude. Buttons were flying everywhere.
And then, of course, he rips that one open to again reveal the same shirt and tie, which he now has CPA branded ties that he sells at his merch table, which is really cool.
You should buy one.
But again, everybody kind of getting their stuff in. Definitely I would say, if not the wrestler of this match, quite possibly the wrestler of the night, Deuce Ex Machina.
Yeah,
getting the fan support. It was a show, to say the least. He's been, as I understand, he's been training at the Wrestle Factory. Has wrestled, I believe, for Royalty Wrestling. So definitely a rising
on the
star.
rise. Yes, absolutely on the rise.
But again, a great match.
Unfortunately, he did not win, though.
No, he did not.
Kurt Robinson was the winner of that match.
Pulled off the win. Yes.
Put off the win. But very good showing from everybody, as always. The only thing I will say, and if you've never seen Sokols, you should know, their ceiling is very low.
Yeah.
So anytime you watch someone try and go on the top rope, get a little nervous because they could just hit their head on the ceiling every time they try and jump out.
Yeah, it was interesting because before the show began, they had this something hanging down out of the ceiling. I don't know if it was like a projector or something, and they were trying to get that unhooked and take that down so that that they were able to get that out of the way so people could not bump into it, because it was right in the line of fire, right
in the middle, right where all the chaos is. Exactly.
Yes. So again, we had Kurt Robinson taking the win in the 6-person scramble. Great way to start the show. Very fun. Quite enjoyed that match again. Everybody getting their stuff in. Seeing CPA is always a lot of fun. CPA was at the Iron Pigs show last year, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that might have been his first LVAC appearance.
Oh, really?
He hasn't had a whole lot of LVAC appearances, but again, great to see him. Everybody was phenomenal in this match. Deus Ex Machina again.
I'm keeping my eyes on Deus for sure. Yeah. Yes,
definitely a favorite. All right, so
the next match,
moving on to our second match.
Yeah, I was gonna say the next match caught me off guard because, as you can see, what was supposed to happen, supposed to be Worthless against Lucky, but what ended up happening was our Opinion City OG, Ultimo Ant, as always, shout out to you, was replaced. So it was Worthless versus Ultimo Ant, and man, I felt bad for my boy there. I felt bad.
Yeah,
he got the tar beat out of him by Worthless.
Yeah. Listen, so
wasn't a very even-sided match. I'll say that.
So I will say this. Ultimo Ant in singles action in the LVAC has not had the easiest things. The poor guy, I'll tell you what. And of all the people there, comes out in an ugly Christmas sweater, like
the whole 9 yards,
ready for the holidays. Again, at his merch table later in the evening, still wearing.
He was snazzed up.
Another ugly Christmas sweater. He was ready for the hangout. Was dying in the building because
he was not ready for the beatdown.
It was a little it was a little warm in there. So because I said to him, I'm like, you really should have wrestled in the Christmas sweater. He's like, he's like, I'm dying right now and I'm just standing here. But once again, poor Ultimo Ant, just not able to pick up the win against I want to say a veteran of the LVAC,
a giant of the LVAC.
It's been around for quite some time. Has seen his fair share of LVAC shows. I remember he had a street fight at one of the Real Rumbles against Jeff Cannonball that went all over. They were fighting in a kiddie pool. It was just it was so ridiculous. But again, Chris Worthless getting the win over Ultimo Ant.
I don't think he got much offense, if at all.
It was. I don't know. I
think it was pretty much.
We gotta do something here to help Ultimo.
I know.
Around,
he needs those W's, and he's not been getting those W's.
No, he hasn't. All right. Maybe
no W's.
Maybe listen. Who was I telling how to win?
Nick Petit.
Yes,
Nick Petit. Okay. Tell Nick Petit.
So maybe I need to have that. Maybe we need to get Ultimo Ant back on, and I'll have
that same chat.
Yes, right, we'll have that same chat.
Same chat.
All right. So now we're going to move on to a match that was a bit of a strange match to me. For one,
we
have Frightmare and Channing Thomas, of course, led by Sydney Bacabella, manager of managers, 2-time former WWF Hall of Famer.
That's right.
Veteran of Opinion City. Team taking on the team of Cheeseburger and the Ace of Space LSG, and this match from the beginning to me was a little strange. It was a little strange. Not necessarily the pairing of Cheeseburger and LSG. I get that,
but the pairing of Frightmare and Channing
Thomas, and even Sydney, when they came out, Sydney said, I've been trying to do this for years. This is my first chance managing Frightmare. It was, I want to say, so the pairing of Frightmare and Channing Thomas was less successful than the pairing of Channing Thomas and a very good professional wrestler.
Right.
They gelled. They were
gelled very well. I feel this instance, Frightmare, was kind of an uncharted waters. Like he's used to being around, Hollow Wicked and the Special Envoy, the Batiri. Like he's used to being around his people, but he was around Channing Thomas and Sidney Bacabella.
And as hard as Sidney tried, I don't think the communication was there. I don't think
it wasn't. Definitely wasn't.
Brand of language because Sidney,
he has a very distinct language that I think only Wicked and all of them know.
Sidney tried to repeat what he said, but it didn't go over.
His opening promo was just, if there's one thing I've learned about Bacabella in my time with him, is that he has no filter. No, he has zero filter. So when he went out there, he just cut the most insane promo about the vegan snacks and how he wants meat in his hot chocolate.
Yes, meat in the hot chocolate. I thought that was brilliant.
That was incredible.
Vegan hot chocolate. Sidney Bacabella, always a treat, always worth the price of admission.
9-hour drive too. 9-hour drive to get here.
So he made that a part of his promo, but that was actually
true. He did a 9-hour drive just to get to Sokols for that show.
That is dedication right there. That Absolutely. Is a man who is dedicated to his craft. And Cheeseburger and LSG were a surprisingly
great pairing.
Competent tag team.
A great pairing.
They really had
again, going back to the roof part, there was a moment where Cheeseburger was going off the top rope, and he literally was like, "Hey, there's the ceiling right there. Like, I don't know what to do."
Yeah. So I like Cheeseburger. I like LSG. I like LSG's presentation. Yes. I like what he does. And Cheeseburger, of course, is Cheeseburger.
Just amazing.
From the minute he comes out, listen, you want to talk about the crowd getting into an entrance.
Yeah.
The crowd gets into Cheeseburger's entrance.
Every time.
Again, Cheeseburger, so talented in the ring, and LSG, someone who can keep up in the talent department.
That's right.
Both very talented wrestlers. And it's great to see their involvement with the LVAC. It's great to see them in an LVAC ring at LVAC shows. I feel like for independent wrestling in Pennsylvania, and I kind of feel like we can even say as much as like the East Coast, National Sokols is like one of those, hallowed grounds because there have been so many hangouts there, and it's the home base from the very beginning. Yeah. LVAC. So it's kind of like, when you get to wrestle in certain places, you get to wrestle in Madison Square Garden or,
Hamburg
or up in Massachusetts for Beyond. There's these certain places, Chicago. Chicago ran Chicago shows. Like there's just these iconic places, and I feel like National Sokols has become
it's definitely getting to be one of those places for sure.
It's nice to be able to see Cheeseburger, LSG, and of course, all the talent that the LVAC brings in, but it's great to see talent like that getting their opportunity to wrestle at National Sokols, and of course Cheeseburger and LSG getting the big win
because they gelled well. Frightmare and Channing did not gel well. If they had found that niche spot, or if Sidney could have figured out the language barrier, I think they would have been good, but that language barrier just got to be too much.
It was too much. Just not getting the job done. No. But again, a great pairing of Cheeseburger and LSG, and here's hoping that we see more of that pairing.
Definitely.
I know a lot of times teams just get kind of thrown together for certain reasons, and they definitely were able to put on a great showing.
Absolutely.
So that brings us to our women's contest of the evening. We have Spike, who I believe was making their first appearance.
I believe so.
For the LVAC. I do not remember seeing Spike previously, taking on Ava Everett, who
gave you some lip before the match started. Definitely had a little sparring match between you and her for sure.
Yeah, we definitely did. This is not the first time we have seen her at a hangout at National Sokols. She is starting to become a regular here at the LVAC, and of course, rounding out the trio,
the queen of LVAC, if you will. Yes, absolutely,
first lady of the LVAC.
Yes.
La Chica Clara Carreras, who again is just a regular within the world of the LVAC.
That's right,
homegrown talent. All right, this was a fun match.
This was a very speedy match. This is like everyone would just went 110% the entire time, and they didn't stop. It was fire from the beginning. Very, very talented trio of ladies here putting on a great match. Ava Everett gives a very Tiffany Stratton vibe in the best way possible. It's like, okay, we literally said that while we were there.
But I was thinking about this, and it's like if you took Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green and put them together, that's Ava Everett.
Right.
It's the perfect description for her because
it's the perfect pairing. Exactly.
Well, she's got the she's got the attitude. She's got the look, the presence, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
And again, Clara Carreras being a regular of the LVAC, we have seen her quite a bit, and again, putting on a great showing. And I thought Spike was really good.
Oh, she put on an incredible showing. Incredible showing. Really good. I'm pretty sure that was my first time ever seeing her wrestle, and it was just I was very impressed with her whole move, entrance, everything. Just everything.
Oh yeah. It was just amazing. Just such a cool match. Everybody again very talented. I feel like the LVAC is really building a women's division, bringing in great talent, finding new people out there. Here's hoping that we see more of Spike in the LVAC. But Ava Everett getting the win.
Yes, of course.
You had to see it coming. Again, just a great talent on the mic, in the ring, just a presence to her. The fans love to hassle her, and she loves to fire back. So very, very fun match. But Ava Everett getting the win.
Yep, Ava Everett getting the win, squeezing out a victory, getting the hell out of Dodge before anything else got worse.
Indeed.
Classic heel move.
Yes. That brings us to match number 5, and this was a big one. This wasn't just the big one. This was the one. This is where we got our little moment to shine, and we had a little squirt party on the sidelines with us, a bunch of people on the sidelines. We gave some sodas around, passed them around. Yeah, it was a good time.
It was. I just Club Soda is becoming one of my favorite tag teams in LVAC, in the indie scene, just in general. And but what's curious about their tag team with is that who they were teaming with.
So it was again some interesting pairings. You have the Batiri teaming with Ricky Price, Junie Underwood, Smash and Burn, taking on Simon's Sugar Squad, which included the aforementioned Club Soda of Jeff Cannonball and Puff. And teaming with a tag team that we haven't seen for some time,
in a long time,
the LVAC. We've seen Erica Lee. She was at Steel Stacks SmackDown and had an impressive showing against Mercedes Martinez. However, we have not seen the Boar in quite some time.
It's been forever.
Gummy Boar coming back to form the super team Simon's Sugar Squad.
Now, what would you have called the Batirian Smash and Burn if they were to have a super group name?
I would have called them maybe Demonic Fire.
There you go. That's actually not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah. So this again, just a wild match. Everything you would imagine so the Batiri are the Batiri. The Batiri
Yeah,
are always great.
They have
always impressive.
Zero chill.
Yeah, they're always impressive. If you have not had the opportunity to see Smash and Burn, both individually and as a team, Junie Underwood and Ricky Price are phenomenal talents, making quite the rounds these days, all over the place. Junie, of course, we saw at CZW the week before.
In that scramble
for the #1 contendership for the Wired title over CZW. But again, these are four very talented wrestlers taking on another set of talented wrestlers in a whole nother manner.
Right.
The Boar, if you've not seen the Boar live, the Boar is big.
He's big and dude, he's big and built.
Yeah,
he's big and built.
Stacked. Erica Lee, always super impressive. Again, as we saw at Steel Stack SmackDown, having a great showing against Mercedes Martinez. And again, last night, great to see Gummy Boar back. But I hate to be like this all the time, but it's almost like there's no other way to be. Simon Sutherland and Club Soda are always the ones to see. They are always like,
absolutely.
For me,
absolutely.
LVAC shows, they are the main attraction.
They are the highlight of the show for me.
They are such fun. Everything about what they do is a good time. It's almost like they could care less about the wrestling, even though they put on great matches.
Of course, but
like they could care less about the wrestling. They're just there to have a good time.
The soda party is more important than the actual wrestling match. Being able to share the sodas with the crowd,
it's all about crowd
Pour
interaction.
the 2-liter soda in a fan's mouth like Puff always does. It's a riot. It's amazing. It's fun. It's incredible.
It's always a good time. But again, these 8-man tag matches in the LVAC are always so much fun because you get to see, these crazy pairings, and you get to see, just they're always super fun. They're always super entertaining. Again, anytime you get Club Soda out there, and now you're throwing in Gummy Boar and Smash and Burn and the Batiri, who, the Batiri are involved in all kinds of things in the LVAC, so seeing them get to be a part of one of these 8-man tag matches, just a lot of fun all the way through. And of course, as to no one's surprise,
right,
Club Soda and Gummy Boar pick up the win.
Yes, as they should have. What are your thoughts on Boar coming back? Were you surprised to see him back?
I was a little surprised when they announced him, because it's been a while since we've seen him in the LVAC. So yeah, because again, I'm not sure. He's been around. He's been wrestling, but I'm not sure. What happened. I mean, we have not seen him again in quite some time. I mean, it's been since last year since we saw him. So again, I was excited for it because I always love some Gummy Boar,
of course.
And again, the Boar was the one that got me interested in Chikara to begin with. So getting to see the Boar back again, a lot of fun, especially for a holiday hangout, and especially for the idea of this, Simon's Sugar Squad. I think it's brilliant putting them all together. I hope this is not the last time.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, absolutely.
That we see them. I know that they only do a few shows a year, and I know that it's not about this, but I would love to eventually see some type of championships in the LVAC. And I think because the LVAC is set up so that championships don't matter. It's about more than championships. But I think one of the things that they really do well is the idea of the 8-man tag.
Yes.
I think they take the idea of the 8-man tag and they perfect it in such an entertaining way. And I would love to see them do 8-man tag titles.
I was gonna say I
think that would be great because nobody does that.
I would say, wouldn't that be a first? That would be first, wouldn't it?
I would have to do some.
I don't think anybody else has done an 8-man
absolute first, but
tag title.
They'd be the only ones doing it right now.
I mean, I think that would. I think them doing that would make them different still, because it's not a world title. It's not a heavyweight. It's not. It's an 8-man tag.
Yeah.
Like it's something that no one else has done yet. That, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So that would be cool if they did that. But I understand why they don't. But I think it would be interesting if they, even if they did just one belt, just one title.
Listen, they could like Club Soda. They could crown themselves like the Squirt World Champions.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many crazy things they could do with it.
They would be the only ones, because I mean, who else can top that?
Well,
I mean,
someone finally beats them, and then they stomp on the Squirt. I don't know.
Or this is not like an insane situation, but whoever wins the belt, the other one has to stop drinking Squirt. Just done.
Oh boy.
Just,
well, all right. So we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves
Tangents.
here. We like to talk about the LVAC and all the fun and all the the great things that they do. But before we get into our main event, we do have to get serious for a moment, because we want to send thoughts, prayers, and best wishes to Jeff Cannonball, announcing on Twitter that he's stepping away from wrestling for the time being. Got some health stuff to work out. And listen, I am the first guy to understand health issues.
Right.
I completely understand where he's coming from. You've got to think of family and health first.
Absolutely.
And as much as we love seeing Jeff Cannonball in the ring, we know that between Steel Stack SmackDown and this show, it was something that he wanted to do, but again was kind of tough for him, and we understand the health issues, and we just we hope and pray for the best. We
wish you a speedy recovery.
Absolutely. Never like to hear about things like that, but here's to a speedy recovery, and here's to seeing him back in the ring, hopefully someday, feeling good and feeling healthy. All right, so I said we're going to get serious for a moment, but we've also got to get serious.
You got to get serious.
Man, this main event,
real serious.
Freaking serious.
We had the big one. This feud's been going on for years at this point, years and years. Multiple matches, multiple feuds, multiple angles. But we had the Lehigh Valley hardcore match between Big Dan Champion and Ultraman just for the IWA Japan setup world title.
Which was a bit of a surprise. I didn't know it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be for the world title until they announced that at the show. I thought it was just the whole thing was that, like, here we are, Big Dan and Ultramantis are having this Lehigh Valley hardcore match to settle the feud, to end it once and for all, hopefully. But I didn't know it was going to be for the title.
Yeah,
an even bigger, added attraction to the match. And let me tell you, this one was something else.
This was crazy. First off, Ultraman Black coming out with a barbed wire bat, but I've never seen so much barbed wire on a bat than that one. It was wrapped 15 times or more with barbed wire. It was crazy.
He cashed in all his purchaser points at Barbed Wire City.
Right. And then Big Dan coming out with a giant trash can. Everyone was ready with all the weapons, and there were. If you have been on Big Dan's social media, you've seen some of the pictures. He got busted open really early on. He got busted open bad, real bad. It was rough. Yeah,
it was not something we were now. Again, the last hangout at the LVAC with the LVAC in National Sokols, we saw, the reforming of sort of the, as we call them, the hexed men with the spectral envoy, the Tiri. And we saw a lot of violence there, but that was kind of an isolated moment.
That was sort of tame compared to this.
This was not the type of violence that we're used to in the LVAC. And again, this violence to settle a feud, we had doors broken.
We had multiple doors broken.
There was a door with barbed wire
and jingle bells
over it, and jingle bells. Barbed wire. It was insane.
Yeah, there was the running power bomb that Big Dan did through that barbed wire bell table was ridiculous. There was the multiple door spots that Ultramantis did to poor Big Dan. They were. It was like a lustful, hateful. Like they put out all the stops to, get this, and then all the run-ins. There was a crazy amount of run-ins to get, for Big Dan, because Ultramantis had so many different cards up his sleeve to get Big Dan to lose. And
some interesting stuff that went on at one point. We hear the music play and everyone goes nuts because it's Orange Cassidy's music and we're waiting for Orange Cassidy to come down to the ring. It was not Orange Cassidy. It was Sydney Bacabella playing a trick on Big Dan. And the big surprise of the night, the real big surprise here, and again, we're getting into history here. We're getting into the history of Sydney Bacabella and the things that he's done. And all of a sudden, we see smoke at one end of the building, and I turned to Danny Rowe and I was like, "Dude, I think the building's on fire." We didn't know what was going on because it was a corner of the building that is very rarely used. It's usually where the band's set up.
Right.
So we see all this smoke coming out, and we see this gigantic
monster. Ridiculous.
He had
this really crazy cloak,
crazy mask, and it was just absolutely insane. And he comes out of the corner and he makes his way down to the ring, and he gets in the ring and takes off the mask, and lo and behold, it is a I don't know if we want to call this returning to Sydney Bacabella, whatever it may be, making his presence felt in the LVAC. It was Max Smashmaster, who, if you don't know, little history lesson, Max Smashmaster was a part of the Devastation Corporation with, led by Sydney Bacabella, teaming with Blaster McMassive and Flex Rumble Crunch, and a King of Trios winner, a two-time finalist at King of Trios. The Devastation Corporation was running Chikara for some time, running roughshod over Chikara with Sydney Bacabella, and Sydney obviously calling in the favor, calling in the big gun.
Big guns.
That man came down, and let me tell you, Big Dan is called Big Dan for a reason, because Dan is a big dude.
He's a big dude.
And Max Smashmaster manhandled him like he was a child.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it was
insane.
It was shocking. It was insane to see Big Dan, like I said, get manhandled. But for me, the biggest spot of that match, which shocked all of us, was the flame spot. Was the fireball, which was one of the perfect fireballs I've ever seen in any sort of
amazing.
It was a perfect fireball.
Sydney got up on the ring apron while Ultramantis was holding Big Dan, and he had the flash paper in his pocket, lit it, and I gotta say, man, Sydney, kudos to you, buddy.
Yeah, seriously,
that was a great fireball.
It was sick. It looked sick.
It was so good. Yeah, it was just perfect. And blinding Big Dan with the fireball. Big Dan already just brutalized,
a bloody mess. Yeah,
and of course, Ultramantis surprisingly not. I say surprisingly. I say surprisingly just because I assumed that, and nothing against Big Dan, but I assumed that this was, such a huge match for Dan that he was going to really kind of step it up here. But this was a night that, Big Dan champion would fall.
Yeah.
And to me, I think the biggest thing that surprises me out of all of this, if you look at the last hangout and you look at the backup that Big Dan had, and you look at Steel Stacks SmackDown, and again, you look at the backup that Big Dan had. Where was Big Dan's backup?
He had no backup this time.
Holiday hangout.
No backup.
No backup.
None.
Nobody coming out to save him. Nobody trying to interject.
No,
I don't know what the
King of the Lehigh Valley had nobody by his side. It was sad.
No, Sidney Buckabell had plenty of people by his side. He's the king of the Lehigh Valley.
That's right.
He beat Big Dan in a match. No, but all joking aside, Big Dan had no backup.
No.
So as you may have seen on Big Dan's socials, talking about, he's never been, hurt this bad, and he doesn't know what his future going forward with the LVAC is.
Yeah, I would be pretty mad too if I had no backup at a place where I'm like the face of the company, and you've had me face my ultimate nemesis, Ultramanus Black, in a hardcore match, and everybody comes out to get me, but not one person comes out to save me.
No, and this could, we could see, ostensibly we could see at some point a return of Big Dan to his old ways. Maybe he thinks, I've been the good guy, I've been the hero
for so long, right?
And what did it get me?
Right.
Making the change. What did it get me? And it got him a beatdown of an extreme and immense violence. Violence. It was just crazy way to end the wrestling portion of the show.
Crazy way to end the year for LVAC.
Yes. I feel like this is a lead in to what next year is going to look like for the LVAC. They have mentioned on their social medias that 2024 was a big year, but 2025 they are taking over. So I can't wait to see what. Super excited to see what Chris they have in store. Good folks that the LVAC have in store. But overall, just another fun show. Saw things we didn't think we'd see.
No.
Saw great wrestling, saw fun times, got to hang out with lots of fun friends. Kenny P was in the house. Yeah.
The good doctor was in the house, Dr. Ethan Wilds.
Dr. Ethan Wild was in the house. Tanya was in the house. Former guest on Wrestling.
That's right.
Yeah, she was in the house. Just lots of good times with good people. Lots of fun. Again, as the LVAC is always fun. If you have never listened, we say stuff like this all the time. So right. It may sound like we're just redundant out there to throwing it out there.
It's not.
It's not like we don't really put much weight behind it. But if you have never seen an LVAC show, if you have never been to National Sokols, listen, make the trek.
Get it
to the Christmas city of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. See an LVAC show at National Sokols. See LVAC.
Be a part of the action.
See LVAC when they're in your area. They always put on a great show. I'm sure 2025 is going to be another huge year for them. I'm sure they will be returning for Real Rumble 6.
I'm sure.
Drive-in because the Mahoning absolutely loves the LVAC, and
it is their favorite event of the year.
It's a big deal.
Every year.
So make 2025 the year that you hop on board the LVAC bandwagon.
Do it.
Of course, you can check them out on their socials. You can find them online. Just make sure you are following the LVAC to see what they are doing this year in 2025.
That's right.
Because I think it's going to be absolutely huge. Again, big thanks to Chris at the LVAC for
huge thanks.
Always being great, always supporting everything that we do. We love supporting the LVAC. Big thanks to Virgil from the Mahoning Drive-In, who, when we showed up for Real Rumble this year, was just like, you know what? Guys, do whatever you want.
Right,
We had free run of the place for Real Rumble 5.
Yeah.
And as we're looking ahead to 2025, 2025 is going to be a big year for us. I think we've got a lot of great things planned for 2025.
That's right.
We're going to hit our 100th episode in 2025. So that's
100.
super exciting. That's super exciting for us.
We're old.
We are old. I don't know how else to say it, but 2025 is going to be a big year. Speaking of 2025 being a big year, do not forget Sunday, January 5th, We are back with a brand new episode of the Opinion City podcast, and we're not coming alone.
No, we're not.
We're bringing our good friend.
That's right.
Billy Avery from Labor of Love. He is coming back to the show. He is a one-time guest, a one-time co-host last year during February. We had him co-host with us. So Billy is coming back to discuss the absolutely huge year,
crazy year for them,
of Love had in 2024, and what we can look forward to this year in 2025.
That's right.
So we are super excited for that. It's going to be a great episode.
Also,
yes,
I would say we are back with Chilling with the OC for the big debut on Netflix.
That is correct. We will have a Chilling with the OC for the Netflix premiere of Monday Night Raw. That's January 6th. As always, the show starts at 7:45, and we kick off the 8 o'clock hour with Chilling with the OC Monday Night Raw edition.
Probably one of the biggest Raws ever.
Yeah,
this is like a pay-per-view event.
Yeah,
this Raw.
Talking WrestleMania level show here.
Yeah,
like they are going all out for this. I'm
cannot miss it
to see what they're doing. So join us, check that out. But 2024 was a huge year for us. We got some amazing stuff this year. We covered CZW Cage of Death.
Awesome.
Big shout out to everyone at CZW, DJ Hyde, Scott Holiday, and Chris White for checking in, getting us, making sure we were getting down there to cover the show.
That's right.
Amazing time. We got to do all the cool stuff during WrestleMania week. We covered the Labor of Love and Sean Henderson Presents shows, Wrestle John and Euphoria.
At the Monster Factory, Matt Hardy podcast. Amazing.
Matt Hardy. Just the things we were able to do in 2024 were just incredible as wrestling fans, being able to do these things and talk to people and just make friends. You know what I mean? Like we go to these wrestling shows and we see people, and it's like, reuniting with friends you haven't seen in a long time.
Right. Seriously.
It's been a lot of fun. We want to thank all of our guests from 2024 because it has been a absolute banger of a year.
Seriously,
our biggest month ever in November with 10 full interviews.
10 episodes. Woo!
Just ridiculous. We are just talking to everybody. And again, 2025 is going to be a huge year for us. We've got a lot of cool things planned.
That's right.
Going to have a lot of great guests. We will be doing in February. We are also now christening February.
Yes,
christening February. As if we, just like we had November is Monster Factory month, we are now doing Bell to Bell month in February. Right. And of course, to start off, we've got Gabby Ortiz, one of the, if not the face of Bell to Bell. We are super excited to have her first week in February. And
Sean, I will not be on that show.
Will not be there.
But you will have a co-host.
That is
amazing co-host.
Yes, Missy Sampson, the owner and of Bell to Bell, a trainer at the Monster Factory. You got to see a fantastic interview with her during Monster Factory month.
Yep.
She will be jumping in and taking Sean's spot that week, as Sean will be off on the Jericho cruise. So she'll be co-hosting with me, and we will be talking to Gabby.
She will help christen Bell to Bell month with her very close friend and the one who actually coined the name of the promotion, Gabby Ortiz.
Yeah. So 2025 is going to be a great year, but looking back, 2024 was amazing.
Incredible.
We thank everybody that had something to do with this podcast, helping us in any respect. There's a lot of people that we could not have done this without,
Right.
We get on here and we talk and, we do our thing, but, we've been able to talk to so many great people and so many great interviews and just, introduce people to the fans, get people to know a little bit about them. And, just looking back, we're just extremely thankful for every opportunity we've gotten. It's just been so much fun. And, we're just excited to keep that going. So I think that's going to do it for us here at Opinion City. It's been a great 2024. We are looking ahead to 2025. Going to be a great year. We're excited for it, and we're excited for you to come along on this journey with us.
That's right.
And see everything that we've got planned. So for Parmesan, I am King Ralph, and this has been the Opinion City Podcast, and we will see you next time.
This is also Ann here. You're listening to Opinion City Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.